So yeah, don't get hung up on that. Just buy that domain and get that site built. All right, I am going to share my screen here. I don't know if anyone else is joining us tonight, but so happy to see you all and hope you're enjoying this beautiful summer weather that is upon us. I see Eric is enjoying it outside. Smart, very, very smart. I'll leave lots of time tonight for Q&A and just to catch up on where everybody's at. And like I said, if anybody needs to book a call with me because you're feeling stuck or uninspired or still confused, please reach out. I am here to help you. I want to see you launch something before we end our time together. And it doesn't take a lot to pull something together. And I'll explain that at the end of today's call, okay? So I'm just going to make sure that I am recording. Yeah, okay, we're good to go. So tonight I'm going to talk about something called the serve, grow, and scale technique. Okay, so this is kind of the last piece of our program. And even if not all of this is applicable to you right now, I think you're going to pull a lot of nuggets in making sure that the first iteration of your product or service is something that is truly remarkable and that changes lives. Because what's the point of putting something out that's totally mediocre, that's going to fall on its face and that nobody's going to have results with, right? That is not how we scale a business, not at all. The best way to do it is to really deliver your transformation to one person. And they are so impressed. They're like, oh my God, Carrie totally reorganized my house. I got rid of 75% of my stuff. I also was inspired to find a new job. I feel so much clearer. I'm actually eating healthier because my fridge is not a complete disaster of jars. And then they go do that in their neighborhood and they're on Facebook and they're posting all these photos. What's going to happen to Carrie's business after that? It's going to start getting referrals, right? And that's the most beautiful way to grow a business because word of mouth advertising is everything. Facebook ads, they convert at 5%. Referral marketing accounts for between 30 and 70% of consumer buying behavior. Okay, so it's massive. And I believe that the way to grow and scale a business is to be awesome, to be more of who you guys are, to deliver a really, really great transformation to one person, and then two, and then three, and then four, and then it just multiplies, okay? But first, I wanted to share an update on the leaderboard. So we're still in this until June 10th, right? And we have Eric leading the way. You know, there's some close behinds. Elka at about 50 points behind Eric, and and I will be launching a 50-point challenge before the end of the week, and it's going to require some work. So get ready. It's anyone's game, but Eric is definitely holding down the fort. Okay, this is such a cute photo, but it's not just to gawk over how cute this little guy is. I want you to take a second with me here. Close your eyes and think about why you joined the Visionary Method. What were you hoping to create, or what was that feeling you were looking to capture after 120 days? Was there a vision on your heart that maybe you've kind of, gotten caught up in what's going on in the world and you kind of lost it? Or do you need to reconnect with what that initial dream was? Okay, so just think on that for a sec. Why did you join the Visionary Method? And you can open your eyes. So it's been a long time since we started our program together. And I know that when you first started, there was likely a deeper why, a deeper reason. You wanted to create something, or you wanted to achieve a feeling that maybe you hadn't had before. And I think it's really important to reconnect with that, because this class especially, it has been a weird 3.5 months, right? Due to what's happening in the world. But if you feel like you've kind of gotten lost over the past 8 to 12 weeks, try and take the time this evening to just scribble out again why you joined. What were you hoping to accomplish? Do you need to revisit that and say, like, am I on the right path? Or, you know, did I go a little astray and it's time to revision what I want? And as you guys know, I'm also running another class of the Visionary Method. So if you're feeling like you still need some help along this journey post June 10th, then please feel free to join the other class that's in progress right now, because we're just a few weeks in. And if you need that time to reconnect and just regroup and then go through the modules again, then you're more than welcome to join that. Because if anything in the last few weeks has just kind of thrown you off, you have this program for life. So I just want to invite you to join us in that if you think it might help. And you know I'm available too to support you guys. But I also know that there's so much excitement ahead, and all it takes is a couple of bold moves for some of you to be landing your very first clients, right? Starting to post more, or getting into conversations with people who might be your dream client, or finally sharing for the first time that you have this ebook or that you have this program. But it's going to take you doing those bold moves to actually get the results that maybe you were looking for when you joined, okay? Love this quote that says, the doors will be open to those who are bold enough to knock, right? Sometimes it does take getting outside of your comfort zone, knocking on somebody's door. Maybe that's reaching out to a mentor. Maybe that's following up with someone who expressed interest in one of your videos. Maybe that's finally sharing your business with your family and your friends instead of keeping it secret. I want to challenge you guys to make a bold move in the coming few days. Anything, that could be anything at all, but it's got to be something that pushes you outside of your comfort zone that you know is going to help you to continue to grow and evolve and push the boundaries of where you're at right now. So I'm going to share a little bit about the serve, grow, and scale technique. I talk about these 3 items so much because I truly do believe that they are the secrets to growing a successful business. And so many people think that the answers lie in complicated online funnels and that they have to have certain programs like these webinar platforms, or their Instagram feed has to look perfect. But at the end of the day, your success is not going to be due to one of those vanity metrics. It's not going to be due to a very complicated online funnel. It's going to be due to these 3 things. So I'm going to talk about creating experiences. I'm going to talk about being different. And I'm going to talk about creating your talk trigger or your talkable moment in your business. And these might seem like next level strategies, but you actually can apply them today. So take some notes and see what you can come up with. So number 1 to scaling and growing your business is to create experiences and not transactions. And I really do believe that all of you here, you have experiences and you will be creating something that is more than just a sale, delivering a product and being like, all right, see you later, I'm out. Or somebody buying a course from you and you backing away and saying, my job is done. You gave me your money. See you later. That is not what we are here to do, okay? An experience is something that someone feels emotionally tied to. It's every single touch point that somebody has with you along the journey, from the moment they follow you on Instagram, from the moment they meet you on the street in your neighborhood. What are you doing to deliver a remarkable experience to that person? Because that is sales, you guys. It is not in randomly getting a new follower and then expecting that they're going to somehow find your website and then blindly buy your product or service. We have so many opportunities as visionary business owners to have remarkable touch points, maybe when somebody follows you online, you send them a voice note. Maybe when they sign up as a client, you send them some snail mail. Maybe you pop into their inbox or their DMs unexpectedly each week and just give them some encouragement, or just say, hey, I've been thinking about you. How's it going? Or, hey, do you have any feedback? Is there anything I can do to support you right now? Your job as a business owner does not end at the sale. It just is beginning, okay? So as soon as you land that first customer, and I'll talk to you about that tonight, you have to go out of your way to make sure that the experience is something that is remarkable, that they never imagined possible in a health coach, in an organization coach, in a video course, in a nutritionist, right? It has to be nothing they ever expected if you want to be a business that stands out and that scales up quickly. Nobody needs another product. Nobody needs another course. They don't need a program. They don't need an ebook. In fact, I don't want any of that stuff. What I need is a transformational experience that I'll never forget and that will leave a lasting impact on me. Experiences are what we talk about. Experiences are what we remember. Experiences are things that leave a lasting impact on our lives. Products don't do that. Video courses don't do that. I've recently started changing all of my marketing materials from online business coaching program to coaching experience, because I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning wanting to buy a program. I mean, I don't want another program. Like, that sounds boring to me. And so there's a lot in the wording, and beyond the wording, it's what you actually deliver. You guys may recognize this famous experiential campaign. I may have shown some of you this video before, but notice how in this campaign, many of you have probably interacted with the Pepsi Taste Challenge before when it was popular like 10 years ago. But they weren't selling you Pepsi. This is not a billboard on the side of the Gardiner Expressway. This is not a TV commercial. This is not a discount at the store on the shelves. This is simply a way for a brand to deliver an experience.
Tell me when this is recording.
We are recording.
Hi everybody, this is Fort Henry Summer Cruise Announcement. I'm here with Melissa, one of our fantastic videographers at CKWS, and we're here to take the Pepsi Taste Challenge. Tell us all about it. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, and your name is?
Danielle.
Danielle, everyone, this is Danielle.
Hi. You guys want to take the Pepsi Ultimate Taste Challenge?
Absolutely.
Amazing. So grab a little bit of information. Can I grab your name?
Adam.
Adam, do you want to do the challenge as well? Yeah.
Sure, Mel.
Can you grab your name? Melissa. And your last name is Nakavali. N-A-K-H-A-V.
It's not about like we try to guess if it's Pepsi or Coke. It's we each try a drink. One's Pepsi.
Okay, brutal video, but maybe that gives you a reminder of what the Pepsi Taste Challenge was. So essentially, they called you into a tent. They had promo people working there, and then they had a Coke under one glass and a Pepsi under another. And you tried a sip of both. You said which one you liked better, and then they gave you a Pepsi either way, okay? So what they did was they created an experience that likely led to a lot of lifetime customers of Pepsi thereon after that, okay? So, I mean, this is not the industry that we're all in. We're not creating food and beverage products for the most part, but it's a testimonial to the power of an experience rather than an advertisement, an experience rather than a really cold, I'm trying to sell you something, right? This was simply an invite into your brand, an invite to try a new product, to have some fun along the way. So ask yourself, what experience can you offer to your clients? Map out that dream client and say, you know, from the moment they say, hey, I love your workouts. Okay, what do you do after that? Like, they just told me they really like my online workouts. Now what? Could you send them another one, like a private video for free? Could you follow up with them in 7 days and say, did you have a chance to try the workout? I would love to invite you to my Zoom class that I host on the last Friday of every single month. There's another experience. Then could you follow up with them the next day and say, are your legs burning as badly as mine are? That's increasing the experience. Then when the conversation continues, could you offer them, I don't know, like a free month of personal training or whatever it is that you're trying to sell? Could you mail them a 1-pager with a little like exercise guide on it? Because if you're going to work in the online world, you still have to create experiences. You might just have to get a little more creative. So again, some ideas here. Can you invite people to a private coffee date at your house? Can you curate a small group of people and do a coffee chat online? Can you deliver an experience through 15-minute discovery calls? Can you send samples in the mail? Can you audit somebody's work and offer them helpful tips? So I may have shared with you guys the audit that I got inside of my Facebook DMs the other day. And it was somebody who had found my Facebook ad that was running, and they did this whole critique of it in a nice way. They were like, you know, I think you could write it better, and it says something about this, and I don't fit that demographic. And he was literally just going through it, picking it apart, but then offering me helpful tips. And then all of a sudden at the end, he's like, and if you want more info, just go to this website. So I clicked the website and I entered my email. So all he had to do was give me the experience of him screen sharing and saying, hey, Kelsey, you don't know me, but I run this ad agency and I just wanted to give you 3 helpful tips on your ad. What an awesome experience, right? This is not someone just like, I'm a Facebook ad expert, buy from me. He actually sat down virtually with me without my knowing and gave me some help, okay? Can you send them a gift to their doorstep? What experience can you deliver that's gonna help you to stand out, to serve your customer, grow your business, and scale it? Scale it beyond you, right? And your customers can help you do that. The second tip that I want to share, I want you all to strive to be different and not better. And I know that the comparison syndrome it's really easy to get caught in that, especially if you are following and tracking a lot of people within your industry. Sorry, I'm just gonna go mute. Because you'll be seeing everything else that's out there thinking, well, I don't think I can do it better than that. Or they've already created this epic online platform. How is it possible that anyone would choose to work with me over the other coach or the other consultant because you feel like you're not better than them? This goes back to your strengths, your brilliance. You're not trying to be better than anybody else because you're not going to be. There are people who have been doing this a long freaking time. And for you to create what they have, like, why bother? But when you are different, when you create something that is totally different than what Influencer 43 is doing and what Nutrition Coach 99 is doing, you put yourself in your own category because you're not copycatting everybody else. And that is the curse of people when they're first starting their businesses. I've fallen into it too, is that we're constantly looking, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? That's how you just try to be better than people, because you copycat and you're always trying to just be maybe one step ahead or one step behind. Again, focus on what makes you different, your unique brilliance, your weird quirks, your life experience. What education do you have? What courses have you taken? What major milestones have you hit in your life that you're really proud of or that challenged you? That's what makes you different. So if you're not sharing that, you're being put in the same league as everybody else. And I don't want you to be a commodity like that, where everyone's like, oh, well, she just does the same meal plans that every other nutritionist does. No. Your uniqueness needs to be infused in these meal plans, something that really lights you up, something that you know you have as a gift, and then that makes you different, and therefore you're no longer a commodity. People can't compare you because there's no comparison. You've created something totally different. And if you need help brainstorming that, reach out. I love having conversations like this. People talk about what's different and they tend to ignore what's average. I think we can kind of all agree on that. Like, you never run over to your best friend and say, oh my God, I had the most mediocre experience at the coffee shop. Like, that will never come out of anyone's mouth, and that's not going to help you to scale your business at all. So always go back to what makes you different, because that is truly what's going to light your business up. That's going to make you excited to share it. And that's going to get you out of that comparison hamster wheel. So in a world where we're inundated with options for where to spend our money, I want you to ask yourself this question. Do you know why people should spend money with you and with your business? And if the answer is not yes now, write this question down and don't go to bed tonight until you can answer it, okay? In a world where we're inundated with options when it comes to where we spend our money, do you know why people should spend their hard-earned money with you and with your business? And I know you can all come up with something. This is not a trick question. It's not something that you're supposed to think about for 40 days on end. Just pick some reason. And it's going to change. Like in 2 months, when you've had 3 clients under your belt, you're going to go, oh, I didn't realize that I'm actually really good at explaining really challenging concepts in simple manners. That's why people should spend their money with me, because I break down the complex into the easy. I don't know. But if you can't answer that question, just try and focus on one thing. Maybe it's because you're more qualified. Maybe it's because you've lived it. You've been through the challenging times. Maybe it's because you offer really competitive pricing. Right now, you're selling everything for $9. There's so many ways that you could differentiate yourself. It's just really being able to answer this question. Not that anyone's ever going to ask you, but they're always comparing you to another nutritionist or to another course creator or to another life coach. So you got to know what your differentiating factors are. And once you go through like the module where you're mapping out your course and that's where you can really start to realize, oh, I can infuse this cool concept. I can teach this part of my experience in this module. So get creative with that. Like, the course doesn't need to be taught by a robot. I don't want a robot to be teaching your courses to your clients. It's you. Like, be yourself. What makes you you? That's the beauty of having a business. It's self-expression, right? You can do this in so many ways. And secret number 3 to scaling and growing your business is to be talkable and to share what you have. So let me explain those. Like I said, nobody runs around saying, I had the most mediocre experience at my local coffee shop, or I had the most average experience at Disneyland. You wouldn't talk about it all if that was the case. But you guys, as the business owners, when you go above and beyond, when you surprise your client with like a cupcake on their doorstep for their birthday, that's remarkable. That's shareable. That's talkable. They're probably going to get out their phone and take a photo for Facebook, or they're going to text it to their partner and say, wow, my coach is so sweet. Look what they did. Or maybe you create like a little video message for them. Like, there are so many free things to do that make you talkable and shareable. The best way for you guys to grow your business in the early stages, in the late stages, is for your customers to do it for you. Get your customers to grow your business. Referral marketing. It's been around since the dawn of time. It's the best. There is a guy in Toronto who runs a personal training course. So it teaches trainers how to bring their business online. Some of you may have even taken the course or know of him. And because he knows that it's mostly people in their 30s and 40s who are taking the course, and they usually fill out like a preliminary survey before they're going to study and get their certification as an online trainer. One of the questions is, tell me about your family situation, or whatever the case is. And oftentimes people will write, well, I have kids, and so I want to be an online trainer so I can spend more time with them. So anyone who shares that they have children, he actually sends the kids a book that him and his wife have written with a handwritten note that says, thanks for allowing your daddy or your mommy to take the time to become a better personal trainer. And then the book is attached in the mail. And guess how many people share that on their Instagram or Facebook who get it? Like 99% of people. Because it's like, what? The founder of this massive company wrote a book and now shipped it to my child and wrote a handwritten note that said, thanks for sharing your mom or dad during this time. Like, who thinks of that, right? So it's just something totally, unique to his business. But what we can extract from that is it's those little touches that go a long way. And it doesn't always need to be snail mail. It can be free things too, right? Like recording a video message. The other thing, and not just being talkable, but also you guys talking about your own business. Be a walking, talking billboard. And I know that sounds a little bit extreme, but you kind of have to get the message out there. And I heard this on a podcast recently, that communication is 10% the words you say, 30% your tone of voice, and 60% is your body language, how effective it lands with somebody. So this poses a particular challenge when we're working in the online world. Because if you want to be remarkable with your communication and you're sitting behind a screen, you almost have to go over the top. It's not just the words that you say, but you need to be ecstatic about what you do, even when you don't even have a client, even when you're still not sure what the F you're building and how you're going to make money. Because if you want to get a client, you need to show up and you need to talk about your product. You need to talk about the transformation from island A to island B, and what your boat is. And so body language, tone of voice, and words. A lot more is in the excitement you have towards what you're building. If you show up there and say, I launched a PDF file and I think it's going to help you to get healthy. It's like, everyone's going to be like, next. That sounds like, the most robotic, worst program I've ever seen, right? And so this is also where I would suggest, I know Aaron would know about this book, but it's called The Alter Ego Effect by Todd Herman. You can look him up. And he shares that sometimes it's beneficial to have an alter ego that you step into when you're not feeling confident. And I have these days all the time where I'm like, I don't want to show up online. Like, maybe there's been a Zoom call in our history together where I didn't feel like being on Zoom at 7 at night. Not saying that's happened, but here's an example. Well, what am I supposed to do? Cancel the call on you guys 5 minutes before? Not show up for my Instagram community when I know they like frequency and they want daily tips? No. Put on the alter ego that I've created for myself, which for me, it's not like somebody that I'm not. It's just more what I envision the most enthusiastic, confident, and caring version of myself as a business owner. The person who really listens, who's there to support the community, who shows up excited to be in her shoe, like in her job. Even though I'm not always like that. But knowing that I've created that alter ego, that I've written that list of qualities that I want to embody when I'm on Zoom, I just do it anyways, right? Like it's a job, like somebody's telling me, hey, go teach your Zoom call, go show up on Instagram, teach that webinar on Facebook Live. And showing up as the most charismatic version of yourself, or whatever version that is, right? Like you don't need to be someone you're not, but be yourself, right? So those are the 3 ways very quickly. I've got lots more trainings on that kind of stuff. If you guys ever want to see more of it, more than happy to link you to it. But now we have to ask the question, how will we get our first few customers or our next few customers for some of you? How is that going to happen? So I want to share a very simple formula with you. 1, we need to get people to raise their hand, like put their hand up. And that's a metaphor. So when you put out a post on Facebook and you share the journey growing up in a family where you didn't like get a lot of attention from your parents and it was hard, so you had to spend a lot of time alone, blah, 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 okay? You tell your story. And then at the end you say, you know, reach out if you've ever felt like that impacted your life as well, or if you've had a similar situation, or, you know, double tap this post if you feel like you need a little extra love today. And when somebody either engages with you or comments or private messages you or responds to your email or clicks a link in your email, they're raising their hand to say, I see you, I'm watching, I'm interested in you. When you comment on anyone's Facebook post or Facebook group, guess what you've just done to them? You've raised their hand for their business. And if they're smart, they're tracking you and saying, wow, this person's been commenting a lot in our Facebook community. I bet they're interested in learning more. And we're not going to pitch you, but let's nurture that relationship. Let's go deeper with this person who keeps reaching out, who keeps commenting on your Instagram stories, who keeps asking you at a party what you do. They're raising their hand because they're interested, but they're not ready to take that next step yet. So that's when you start a chat sequence, i.e. make some conversation with them. Be like, hey, Jenna, I see you've been watching all the workout videos. Are you feeling any better? Are you feeling stronger? And then she'll be like, yeah, I'm actually feeling amazing. Thanks for doing those videos. Cool. I actually just released this free guidebook. It's for this type of person. Let me know if you want it. Yeah, okay, send it over my way. Give her the link to your guidebook. She enters her email. And you're just being a nice human being this whole time, starting a chat, a conversation. And then 5 days later, you're like, did you end up reading the ebook? And she's like, yeah, I actually shared it with 5 friends. Oh, amazing. Have you ever thought about working with a trainer before? Or have you worked with a trainer before? No, but I've been thinking about it. Okay, cool. Like, just wanted to let you know if you are interested in getting started, I have 10% off of my training packages this month. Oh, sweet. Until when? Well, for the next 4 days. Do you want to get on a call and I could share more about them? And she's like, no, I don't know if I can do a call. This is where you send her to your website or your Google Doc. So step 3, she's just raised her hand even higher and said, I might be interested. So send her the program. What is it that you're selling? Get her on a call and explain it, or send the document. Then she either responds or you follow up with the 9-word email. Jenna, did you have a chance to read my ebook? Something super simple. And then she said, yeah, and I think I'm ready to get started. And then it's done. And it doesn't always work out like that seamlessly, but getting into these chat sequences is literally how you can build your business from 0 clients to 10 clients in the next month. Talk to people, right? Get them to raise their hand through content, through social media, through telling people what you do, and then start a conversation. And always be the last one to respond. Never leave a dead conversation that they responded and then you just didn't. And then tell them how to pay. Okay, well, it's $400 to join my program. You can pay with this link. And then they're like, all right, cool. And I think that this is where we can totally swipe away, like that you need all the social medias, that you need a perfect sales funnel, that you need a beautiful website, that you need some like magical payment platform. You don't need any of that. You need to get people to raise their hand. You need to have conversations. You need to send them your offer, and then you need to tell them how to pay. Okay. I'm just going to stop for a moment and check the chat. Any questions related to what we covered tonight? Serve, grow, scale your business. How to make your first couple clients pay you for your amazing offers. Or zoom back, ask me anything about previous modules.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I actually been thinking a lot lately about the whole program, and there's things that, so what makes me different, right? Yes, I do compare myself to others. So I always try to think of what makes me different. So I went into the high five test we did, and I'm looking at it and going, okay, but that still feels like it's similar to other people out there. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
So,
yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to think things along those lines. Like, why am I so different? Why does someone want to pay with me? And then the other thing is, do I keep posting? Like, I don't have the program up and running, or I don't have any systems in place. Do I keep posting as if I do? So I look like I'm professional? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so all of that kind of, and then it's like all the limiting beliefs start to come into play, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so exhausting and so overwhelming. And then you almost go have a nap.
Yeah, totally. And yes, I completely get that. So let's start first with what makes you different. So one thing that I know about you, Carrie, is that you are very responsive on Facebook Messenger, on Instagram DMs, on email. Anytime that you and I get in a chat together, you always respond very quickly. So there is something about you that's very, like, you're available, you're supportive. You are not like the organization expert that's like, I'll give you your program, but don't bother trying to contact me because I'm not involved in this program at all. Like, I feel like you're working on the front lines with any client that decides to invest with you. I know you enough to say that you would not probably wait longer than like an hour or two to respond to somebody if they were like, I don't know how to do this part. So one of your differentiating factors could be that you offer an unparalleled level of support throughout your 4-week program. Like, I'm here for you every step of the way. And like, be like, literally, you can call me anytime. So that would be one idea. Another idea is to differentiate based on price in the early days. So as you're building your confidence level up, maybe you offer a really awesome discount of 50%. That's time limited. So until June 15th, I am asking, or I'm looking for 5 people who want to reorganize their entire closet so that it is pristine. These 5 people will have messy closets. They will have this, they will have this, they will have this. If this is you, respond with the word closet and I'll share more info. And then you get a few people raising their hand. And then you say, guys, I'm doing a beta program. I'm really I'm new to this business, but I love organizing. So come along with me on this journey. I'm going to be doing a different talk every week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. And I'm doing it quite affordable right now because I want your feedback. I want your testimonials. And that's it. And like, take the pressure off yourself to have everything perfect. Don't be an imposter. Just show up, teach them, answer their questions, and don't charge them a lot because you're still building your confidence in this, right? And then figure out, like, where did you shine through that first iteration of this program? Were you super supportive? Did you offer like these impeccably created resources? Do you have the best before and after photos after you get their results? That could be what separates you. And so that would probably be one of the most simple ways to get yourself going through this. And I'm happy to work with you on that whole, like, I'm looking for a few people, the beta group, and what to charge.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Funny, the first comment you made is actually one of my strengths, that I want to make sure you are getting the results you want. I don't know the name of it. I'd have to go look at the strength, but it was basically that.
I wonder if it's deliverer, or maybe it's another word. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. It's like that will be what sets you apart, because most programs are automated. It's like, read this and then do it. But I don't think you're going to let people just drop off the face of the earth once they spend their money with you.
Thank you.
Hope that helps a little bit. Eric, yes, Eric said cover how to use Teachable. So yeah, Eric, do you want to unmute yourself and just ask the question, maybe a little more specifics? But yeah,
so
absolutely will.
Like I haven't played with it yet or anything like that. I'm just curious, like you know, you've created these beautiful workbooks that we'll be using and all this kind of stuff. And like, how do we? I guess that's my whole thing. Is like, how do we actually create the content that we're going to create for our programs?
Absolutely. Such a good question. So I use two key tools. So first off, well, I want to preface this by saying I created the Visionary Method in real time. So I actually had people who had bought the program 2.5 years ago, and I hadn't created it. I had done my sticky notes exercise very diligently. So I knew in an Excel document that, okay, well, the course starts on November 10th, and I'm teaching like the CVO module, and I want them to know about Power Hour. I want them to know about, writing your business plan, naming your business, whatever. And so I knew just the topics, but I actually created everything like leading up to the teaching date. Okay. So I'll preface by saying that will not be all of your styles, but that's what I did. So I created.
So hence the gradual releasing of the modules.
Exactly. Yeah. And like, that is what I did in the first time I taught this. It was like, well, I couldn't even give you more resources because I haven't created them yet. But I had everything kind of like in the abyss. You guys probably feel that way too. It's like, yeah, I know how to talk about confidence and I have 5 tips on it, but like, I don't have it in a PDF. So number one, you don't have to create workbooks, but for me, I like learning in workbooks, and I thought my students probably would too. So I decided to focus on workbooks. I also enjoyed creating them. So I used Canva, C-A-N-V-A, to create all my workbooks. Just really simple, asking questions, putting in boxes, and I literally just typed up all my stuff in Canva and saved it as a PDF file once it was done. Or I recorded a video on my laptop, or I recorded an audio file on my laptop. From there, I opened a free Teachable account. I still use a free Teachable account. I can't believe they're not charging me. The pricing may have changed in the last 3 years, but you guys, like, I don't pay for that platform. It's amazing. And all I do is I started the school, the visionarymethod.teachable.com, really easy. And then all you do is go in and upload files and drag them into logical formats. And that's it. Like, you can upload your videos, you can upload your audio files, you can add text files, you can do whatever you want. And then you invite students and you enter people's emails, and that invites them. If you want to go more complex, you get the paid version, and people can enroll and the content can be dripped to them via email series and all this complicated stuff. But I just use the basic Teachable version. So you got to create your resources and then you just slide them into Teachable. Like, it's a really user-friendly platform, so I would highly suggest it because it can house all your information.
I thought, see, that's the thing. So I thought you were creating the workbooks in Teachable. I didn't realize you were doing that in Canva.
Yeah, all in Canva, or you could just use a Google Doc, right? People want simple workbooks. I made mine way too complex, and then people were like, when I print it, it's not formatting, or I can't copy and paste it, which is still an issue with my workbooks. And so, yeah, I would say really, really simple. Like, obviously add some nice branding where you can, but people don't want to print complicated workbooks, I don't think. Does that answer your Teachable questions? And I can go through my back end of Teachable with you, Eric, anytime you want to see it.
You know what's
Thank
cool
you.
about hearing that is that I think for myself, I always overthink things and I overcomplicate, and I'm like, wow, Kelsey's using this Teachable program and it looks so professional. And then when you tell us that, it's like, okay, just don't make everything perfect. Just go with it. Just start, right? Be in action.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And like, again, what's the harm in trying? Like, open your Teachable account, start sliding a few of the things you've created into it. And if you can still operate on the free version, which I'm pretty sure they still have one, they must, then, you know, just set it up. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it's a great way to organize all your tools and kind of put the framework of a course together. But yes, it's easy to overcomplicate things in our minds. We think it's going to be this big complex process. Like, I thought that when I was switching all my email providers last month, and when I actually sat down to do it, I'm like, it's not that much work. But I had built up this story in my head that it was going to take all day and that I wasn't going to be able to do it. So what else? Who else is wanting to share where they're at, what the heck is going on in their life, where they could use some support, or maybe you have a win that you'd like to share? I see Eric said the idea of selling the course before creating the content makes sense, because I think we can get stuck in that creation phase, not selling the program. Totally. And I want to share the term co-creation with you. How awesome is it to know what you're going to teach and what that transformation is going to be and what the framework of the program, like what are those major milestones? Like, you know, maybe you need to teach, here's how you go grocery shopping first. Here's how you meal prep. And then here's how you lose 10 pounds using food. Those are the major milestones. But then when you've sold the program based on those milestones, you can be in co-creation with your client saying, oh, you need a list when you go grocery shopping. Is that how you like to do it? Oh, you like it on your phone? Yeah, okay, that's coming. And that's where you're doing a beta round, like an early bird round. It's, hey, this is the first time I'm doing this. It's cheaper, but I'm going to co-create it with you. Or it may not be perfect, but I'm giving it to you for half off. And there are people who will want to join that and they want to help you and they want to support you. So yeah, think about doing the co-creation method where you lay it out and you have the confidence and assertiveness that says, I have the program ready, but you're kind of building it in real time. And for me, oh, Erin, yes. It lights a fire under you. Like, I had to have those resources done by the time my call came around. And I was just like, pedal to the metal, like get it done. And that's how I created this whole course. And maybe that's how I operate, but you guys choose your own way.
I think for me, if I can add, I feel like I'm also the same where I feel like I want everything to kind of be like done first and then I can move forward.
Yes.
I get this now where I'm like, okay, maybe that could be me too, where I'm like slowly just like chipping away at it and adding it in and just making it done. But I feel like in my head also, it's not just like one program. Like I want to have more ready. Like I when someone clicks on the website, I don't want it to just be the one thing that I also haven't finished yet, but I don't want it to just be that thing. I want it to be like, this is who, not who I am, but this is what it's about. This is like being the thing. And so I feel like I have to put so much more into place. And I think that's okay too, before I can move forward. But I think this helped too, because when Eric was talking about Teachable, I'm like, oh, that doesn't apply to me. I'm not going to do that. But like, maybe it is. I think now I'm starting to think what might take away some of the overwhelm is changing how I thought I was going to present like my big project, or if I'm even going to do it in a big way, or if I'm going to break it up, which is like what I think I need help with, to know what I should offer. And then if I do the big thing, I wanted everybody to be a part of it. So I don't want it to be like I like the part about Teachable that everything's kind of like organized in a really nice way. And I don't think in an ebook it can really be that nice. Like I know you can make clickable things so it clicks to the right part, but I think it's just going to be so big that will just be a huge, massive document. Yeah,
that's true. Yep.
So then I'm thinking maybe I should do Teachable, but I don't want it to be necessary. Or at least I haven't thought about it being a course that I go along with them with, like you are?
Mm-hmm.
Can you still do that? I mean, can you still just be like, here's the course, like go do it? And obviously I'm here for support, but I'm not gonna like always like make calls, or like I want that it's that I can throw it out there and a bunch of people can be doing it that I don't even know are doing it, you know?
Totally. Yeah. And so my suggestion to you would be to actually run the first version live. So get a few people who commit and say, yeah, I'm really interested, Elka. Can I, like, you've told me a little bit about what you're creating. I would like to raise my hand and say I'm interested. And whether you deliver it for free or for a small fee, then at least it keeps you accountable to get the program out there, get the workbooks created, upload it to Teachable, because you said, we're going to be together for a month and I'm going to teach you how to get fit with a baby on your back. And then it's done. And you've had real people go through it. You have real testimonials. You have real experience working with one of the individuals, and then flip it to automation. Teach it as if you're going to automate it, which you will do. And for you, that's going to be a great way to stay accountable, to get real-time feedback. Because what if something just isn't clicking and that's why nobody's buying it? You know, like it's not the right program. You'll get that feedback, that data, and you'll teach it in real time, recording yourself, but that will turn into the automation. So that might be a good way to, kind of like Erin said, light the fire under you, get it done. Feedback in real time.
That's helpful. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi. Like funny faces. So that would be my suggestion. Happy to walk you through that more, but a beta group, you guys can't go wrong with that, because again, you're getting a great deal on a program, and you get some people who actually try your offer, who actually experience it. Does that help?
Yeah, that helps a lot. I think being accountable, the problem with me is that I'm very self-motivated and accountable on my own, but like this makes it hard. Like I could have like the time, all the time, and
yeah,
I could get it done. But I think that's the hardest part, is actually like, I don't know how people have more than one child, honestly. Like I don't know how you do it. Anyway. Yeah, but overall that helps. I just have to figure it out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, I can't even imagine, but maybe some of the other mamas on the call will gladly share their advice with you at some point, because it is a lot. But good on you for like sticking with this. And yes, teaching it in real time for you might be the push you need to say, well, I have to be on that call for 8 p.m. tonight, so we're just going to go with it.
Yeah. Yeah, fair. Yeah.
Okay. What else is going on with you guys?
I guess I can share.
Please do. Hey, Marissa.
Hey. This week I've actually been working one-on-one with a couple of people for free, because, you know, just starting.
Yeah, amazing.
But yeah, that's been a pretty good experience. Like I've had 2 1-hour calls already, and then tomorrow I have another 1-hour call with another person. So.
Okay, so inspire us. How did people find out about you? Are they friends?
These are just my friends. Yeah.
But that's perfect. Like, this is where we need to all be starting. So did you reach out to them? Did they reach out to you?
Yeah, so I actually did my case studies. Well, I asked them if I could do my case studies on them for school. So I did my case studies on them, but the case studies are so different from what I want to do in real life. So like I just took their information and then typed up the case study, but now I'm actually kind of working with them a bit slower, because the case studies are just so much information, and I got a lot of good feedback. They enjoyed my offering, or the knowledge that I imparted on them. So yeah, that was
amazing. I am
fun.
So excited for you. And I think that is kind of like a really good, it's a good philosophy to share. Like with your program, you had to do case studies, but for all of us, we could actively reach out to who we think are our dream clients or just clients in general and say, hey, like, I know you may want to learn more about nutrition. Would you be interested in being a case study of mine? Would you want to go through my 4-week fitness program or my 4-week organization program? If you don't ask, you don't know if somebody will say yes. So I think that's so awesome, Marissa. And like, this is only going to lead you to finding clients who are not your case studies and friends, because people will talk about you when a friend says, hey, do you know a nutritionist? They'll be able to go, actually, my friend Marissa is working with me right now. So these are the action steps. So congratulations. I think that's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, and it feels really good to kind of, I don't know, just even like working with them and having an hour-long video call, it like helps me realize how much I know. And then it also, like, the 2 calls were back to back and I was like, oh, like this is actually pretty similar. So it gave me an idea of, if I do make an online course, like things that I could include in it that might be applicable to like a large group of people and stuff like that. So
yeah, it totally is a confidence boost, right? It's a chance for you to show up and test your knowledge and put your skills to use. You went to school for a reason. You acquired these skills so that you could share them with people who will never go through the same program. So great. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Any other thoughts? I realize we're a little past time, so if you have to go, I totally get it. But yeah, anything else you guys want to jam on? Would you like to have a call next week? Do we need extra coaching? Like, you can always just message me if you feel like you want extra support. And maybe we could do a call next week, but we will have our final wrap-up call on June 10th. That is like the final day of 120 days. What the heck? But I'm more than happy to do another one of these next week if you guys think it might be beneficial. If there's a topic you want me to jam on. I think we covered most of the questions that came up in the Facebook group, but if I did miss one, I'm more than happy to spend some time focusing on it. And I know we're all at different spots too, so if you want to learn more about creating a workshop, if you want to learn more about your social media, and you just haven't dug into the workbooks yet, just let me know, because we can do a deep dive next week.
Kelsey, will you post the time for June 10th, or did you already?
Yes, yeah, it's not up there, I realized. So we will definitely have a closing ceremonies celebration. So yeah, I'll post that by the end of the night tonight. I just need to double check. And then I'll put up a call time for next week. So if you guys want to come, I'll teach on a couple topics based on what I'm seeing, the feedback in the group. And why not? Like, I want to make sure you're feeling motivated, feeling supported in these final few weeks. And in the meantime, like, give me an update, guys. Send me a Facebook message after this if you have anything you want to share with me, and I'd be more than happy to help. Sound good? Wonderful. Okay, well, I look forward to hearing from you all. Keep me posted. And I will see you hopefully on the call next week or on June 10th, and I'll share all that in the Facebook group. All right.
Thanks,
bye, guys. Good to see you all. Happy Wednesday.